Today we're going to take our boat out for our first iron sail, so we can get our certificate of fitness so we can start sailing. But before we show you that, I'm quickly going to show you everything we needed to get ready to get our certificate of fitness, and it will be more relevant to South Africans, but let's quickly run through the document and see what we had to get together for our certificate of fitness. We did our listing and certificate through SA Sailing. It looks like it's the easier way to go, so we had to get a certificate of listing first before we could get our certificate of fitness. This is the old piece of paper we used to check everything to make sure it's ready before we actually went to the COF. So we did complete a form like this, but general information. So it's got a bunch of things just defining commercial vessels, passenger vessels, foreign going vessels, foreign register vessels, hull inspections, crewing, manning, safety equipment, and a couple of stuff that we're not going to get into. It also has construction requirements, and since we did a lot of work on it, we had to follow some of this stuff. Ingress of water on decked vessels, color of deck, navigation lights we had to do, hatches on the deck had to be waterproof, or guardrails had to be more than 560mm high, which luckily they were, and we had to have towing arrangements made. Underwater hull fittings needed to adhere to certain requirements, ventilators, petrol engines, which doesn't apply to us, and a couple of other things: fuel tanks, electrical installations, emergency steering, bilge pumps, and just a couple of building requirements. But the actual things we had to buy starts over here, and let's start off with approved life jackets. We had to buy a couple of extra life jackets. All of them needed a whistle, a lifting loop, and a light for vessels operating at night, which is a bit strange. We didn't know about that, so at first we bought some Chinese lights, and then we heard that you have to get actual lights with dates and cost about $300 a pop, which wasn't cheap, but we got 6 of them since our boat will be certified to take 6 people. Next up, well, this is also basically the life jacket, but it's the approved buoyancy. It's our working life vest that we've showed you before in previous videos, and I'll quickly show you here. We had to get life buoys and dan buoys ready. As well as brand new flares, since we've been slowly but surely shooting off the old ones.
Welcome to Land Rats. Land Rats! Welcome to Land Rats. You're not watching the sun.
4 handheld red flares, 4 red rocket parachutes, 1 floating orange smoke marker. We got 2 just for the hell of it, and 1 waterproof torch, sound signaling device. You saw our lekker rock and roll speaker, ship's bell or signaling device, but only required on vessels 20 meters or more, so we were lucky there. Code flags N and C, we got them, they cost us a pretty penny as well. 2 black balls or shapes. We've got 1 black shape for when we anchor, but the 2 black balls are only for vessels 12 meters or more, so we didn't need that. We've got our radar reflector at the top of the mast. Got our brand new standard Horizon VHF radio with AIS. And you can see there a current ship station license from ICASA is required, so luckily we got that as well. Then we got our EPIB, and it was registered through the MRCC, which is more of a hassle than I'd like to admit. Steering magnetic compass, we got that sorted. Navigation charts for the voyage of area of operation, they also need to be dated. We had to buy a chart that was 500 Rand for a Durban area chart. Suitable approved fire extinguishers, we got our fire extinguisher serviced and placed in each compartment of the bulkhead, so that is a lekker Like a thing we've got going there. Full set of sails. How do we plan on sailing if we don't have a full set of sails? Suitable means of cutting the standing rigging. We also got that. We just haven't mounted it yet, but we'll probably find a place in the next couple of days or weeks to put it on the boat. Then the last page over here, we've got proper patent anchor and chain with a suitable length of rope for the area of operation. We've got 2 anchors and not enough chain, not enough rope, but we'll get that sorted as well. They luckily didn't penalize us too much. Watertight capsize bottle attached to vessel with a rope, readily accessible in event of capsize. We've got 2 of those. One that we've got all our flares and stuff stored in, as you saw, and then one we're planning on using as a grab bag or something just to put our passports and everything in, just in case. Also need 2 space blankets because we plan on going to space. 1 liter of drinking water per person, which is a bit low if you ask me, but I guess enough for a day sail. First aid kit with a book to go with it. Then we also have SAMHSA approved self-inflating life raft capable of carrying all persons on board. Lacquer expensive, we had that serviced and fitted to the boat a couple of weeks ago, so that is sorted, probably the most expensive item on the list. Enough spares and tools for the voyage. A highly visible 2x2 meter canvas, we got that included because our deck is white, so, well, not at the moment, it's very dirty, but our deck is white, so hopefully if they need to find us at sea we can drop the canvas and it should be easier to see us. Approved marking, we'll get that on the boat soon enough. We're busy registering the boat to also go overseas through SAMHSA, so don't have the name on the boat just yet. All the equipment also need to be marked with the name, and trailer, well, we're gonna sell it because we're not planning on getting out the water again soon, on the trailer at least. Then as a bonus, they also have a couple of stuff here that we don't fully adhere to, but it's not necessary for the requirements. They just say that something like a satellite phone or a SSB radio is very useful to people. A suitable combination of navigational instruments, backup handheld GPS, which we've got a couple of, hand bearing compass, which we have, jackstay and secure clip-on points we still need to do on the boat, floating light or lights attached to the danbuoy and horse ring, we luckily have some of those attached to the boat as well, portable LED spotlight, we do need a better spotlight, waterproof handheld VHF radio, tapered softwood plugs stowed adjacent to through-hull openings. So that's everything we had to get on the boat so we could go any distance from shore from South Africa. Let's get this boat started and take it on over to the other yacht club so we can get our certificate of fitness. Smells like fish.
It smells like the sea.
We're on our way to get the COF done, and at this speed it might take a while. The wind's a bit busier than we'd like, but we got away without too many problems. So we'll see what the COF says, and then hopefully we make it. They say this channel up here is a bit shallow. 3 meters of depth at high tide, so we'll see in a second. We've got our sounder at least, so we can check it. It is now just past high tide, so we can kind of work out when we come back how deep it'll be. Strange looking boats, a sunken one back there. that's our episode. Luckily, we got to take the boat a little bit out for the first time. Next week, we'll go sailing. A special thanks for watching this far. A special thanks to our Patreons, and we'll see you all again next week. Cheers. Dun, 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 dun.